You can perfectly guide everyone else, but you can't take your own first step. Your intelligence has a blind spot. A massive one. You are a hyper-efficient prediction engine stuck in a perpetual test flight. Everyone keeps giving you the wrong advice. Just relax. Stop thinking so much. It's like telling a Ferrari to stop being fast. But it's more than that, isn't it? You have the blueprint. Every angle. Every outcome. Every pitfall. So why does taking the first step feel like walking through quicksand? I dare you to watch the next 60 seconds. Because I'm about to describe a pattern in your mind that you've never had words for. The infinite simulator. The perfection trap. The reason you're 10 steps ahead but never take the first one. If I'm wrong, click away. But if I'm right, you're about to unlock everything. You feel it, don't you? That weight in your chest. The exhaustion of thinking without moving. The quiet shame of knowing exactly what to do, but doing nothing. That's not laziness. That's your simulator running a program it was never designed to run. Here's what's actually happening inside your head. Think of it like this. Your mind is equipped with the most advanced flight simulator imaginable. You can run endless scenarios, testing every possible input, every contingency, every potential failure. For external problems, this simulator is invaluable. You can perfectly guide others because you've already flown their potential flights thousands of times. But for your own journey, you're trapped in the cockpit, endlessly optimizing the simulation. The final piece of your cognitive profile isn't a flaw, but an unintended consequence of this hyper-efficient processing. You predict. You observe the simulated outcome, and without real-world action to provide new data, your simulator simply refines its existing models, creating an infinite loop of that paradox. Seeing everyone else's flight path clearly, but never taking off yourself is not random. It's the direct result of your brilliant, but uncalibrated internal simulator. So, if your internal simulator is so brilliant, so powerful, why does it leave you stuck? Here's where everything clicks. The final piece of your cognitive profile isn't just the simulator itself, but its inherent blind spot. Your simulator is programmed for perfect data. For others, the real-world action provides that imperfect, messy, but crucial data that allows your simulator to learn and adjust. But when it's your own flight, you're so good at anticipating every potential turbulence, every possible mechanical failure within the simulation, that the thought of encountering them in real life without a pre-programmed, 100% perfect solution becomes a nonsense. This is the paradox. Your brain's inability to accept imperfect real-world data for its own plans. You can perfectly predict everyone else's problems because you observe their imperfect flight. You struggle with your own because your simulator refuses to launch without knowing the entire outcome. This relentless pursuit of knowing the entire outcome before taking off. That's the core of what I call the perfection trap. It's not just a blind spot. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of the game you're actually playing. Your supercomputer brain, brilliant as it is, thinks life is a closed system simulation where every variable can be controlled, every outcome predicted. But life isn't a simulation. It's an open system. It thrives on uncertainty, adaptation, and imperfect data. When you demand to know the entire outcome, you're trying to win a chess game against a constantly shifting landscape. This is the moment where everything clicks. The complete map we promised you isn't about more simulation. It's about recalibrating your simulator to the rules of the real world. It's about giving yourself permission to accept the inevitable imperfections of action and understanding that your greatest strength, your foresight, is meant to adapt to reality, not control it perfectly. So, how do you recalibrate a simulator designed for perfection to thrive in an imperfect, open system? It begins with a fundamental shift in your operating principle, the iterative launch protocol. Forget the perfect launch. Your supercomputer brain's true advantage isn't in eliminating all risk, but in minimizing initial risk and maximizing learning. The complete map starts here. Give yourself permission to launch with a minimum viable action MVP. This isn't about being careless. It's about defining the absolute, smallest, most imperfect, yet meaningful step you can take. A phone call instead of a full presentation. A draft email instead of a polished proposal. This MVA is designed to generate real-world data and perfect data that your simulator craves for calibration. It's how you break the perfection trap. by moving from endless theoretical optimization to practical, adaptive engagement. This shift allows your simulator to finally get the real-time feedback it needs, turning your predictive power into an unfair advantage for iterative, informed progress. Launching with a minimum viable action, or MVA. Sounds simple, but for your supercomputer brain, it often triggers a powerful internal resistance. That's the voice of your simulator. Still demanding perfection, still forecasting every minor imperfection of your MVA as a catastrophic failure. Here's where everything clicks again. This internal critic isn't trying to sabotage you. It's a miscalibrated guardian, still operating under the perfection trap. The complete map teaches you to defy this internal critic by reframing failure as feedback. Your MVA isn't meant to be perfect. It's meant to generate data. When that internal voice screams, "It's not good enough," you respond, "It's good enough to learn." Give yourself permission to silence this demanding simulation by committing to the learning process. This is how you transform your predictive power. Instead of anticipating every way things can go wrong, you now predict how you will adapt when they do. This proactive adaptability, fueled by real-world data, is your unfair advantage. When you reframe failure as feedback, you're plugging your supercomputer brain into a real-time calibration loop. This is the essence of mastering the open system of life. Your MVAs generate live data, which your simulator instantly processes, creating more accurate predictions for the next MV. Here's where everything clicks. Your anxiety shifts. Instead of dreading uncertainty, you become an expert at extracting insights from it. The complete map reveals that your curse of overthinking actually transforms into an unparalleled capacity for rapid informed iteration. Give yourself permission to see every small action, every piece of feedback, as a crucial update for your internal operating system. This constant, data-driven recalibration makes your supercomputer brain not just a predictor, but an adaptive learning machine, giving you an unfair advantage in navigating complexity with precision and confidence. For too long, your supercomputer brain, with its vast processing power, felt like a cognitive burden, a source of anxiety and paralysis. But with the real-time calibration loop, you're fundamentally transforming it into your most powerful strategic asset. Here's where everything clicks. Your unfair advantage is not just about doing more, but about doing it smarter, faster, and with less friction. The complete map for your cognitive profile is now complete, revealing how to fully optimize your unique capabilities. Give yourself permission to recognize this profound shift. Your ability to anticipate, launch, and adapt with precision is now a competitive edge, allowing you to tackle complex problems, build groundbreaking projects, and lead with a clarity that others can only dream of. Your mind is no longer a trap. It's your ultimate strategic weapon. The complete map is in your hands. This isn't just theory. It's your new operating principle. You are no longer held back by the demand for perfection. Your supercomputer brain, now a strategic asset, is ready for deployment. Here's your final step in this transformation. Give yourself permission to trust this calibrated genius. Trust your ability to predict, to launch MBAs, and to adapt with the precision of real-time data. This is how you reclaim your cognitive power. Your mind is uniquely wired for complexity, for the long game, for seeing what others cannot. The world needs your depth, your foresight, your strategic asset. Don't dim your resolution. Instead, point your newly calibrated supercomputer at bigger stars, bigger problems, bigger goals. In the next briefing, we'll dive into specific tactical exercises to refine this process even further. Subscribe now, because the era of predictable, decisive action informed by unparalleled depth has begun.